Take you away, I will, gentlemen. Thank you for your thoughts and insight, as always, into these teams. The Desk Flakes, the one place in the world where good looks and analytics come together. We got it all at eFrag.
You say that, but you know their luck and prediction, the luck of the draw with predictions, should we say, has been a bit rough. I think the past 2 days. Unfortunately, it seems like the teams they favour haven't quite worked out for them. So their 2-0 predictions, they seem to run the idea of polar opposites. Let's see if that is going to take hold in this one, as we are back on Mirage. It's your favourite map in the game, Seaside. You love this map, you adore it. So tell me, what's going to happen when Fury charge out through B apps and push down on towards B?
Depends on how well Moyes is spotting this. And if he's going to be able to land some shots. If he's unable to connect, yeah, they get out for free. That's 4 players on site with blocks. They're going to elect to face him, though. It gives him the first opening pick on Savvy. As now, Moyes has to fight out a market window, has to play retake with his teammates. Keep in mind, Braun is already heavily tagged down to 8 coming up from catwalks. There's a 3-man catwalk, 2 market retake. And this is going to be hard for Fury to hang on as these pistols start to push in.
Very, very difficult stuff, but taps out with Berkey trying to make it hold as Bustum going to find just another Felix and Bondas. Both do combine to get themselves 1 apiece as well, just to try and back up things for that Netland side. But unfortunately, the Greeks, they are in a struggling spot. A push to come around, a singular angle playing from that high bomb stack. But even then, it's getting harder. The USB shots don't quite line up until that final fateful headshot, and it will connect at least to make it a 1 versus 1. But even then, time not in his favor. Felix is going to explode to the bomb, going to take down 1 with him as well, of course. But it's still a round on the board for Fury, and a big one at that.
Is Felix a cat?
I feel like he, you know...
I feel like there's a cartoon called Felix the Cat. That's what I don't know if he's referencing that, but I'm pretty sure there's a cartoon called Felix the Cat. So shout out to Felix the Cat.
There's cat food
and Felix in game.
And also Google confirms there's a cartoon for Tubes the Cat. It's a funny animal cartoon character created in the silent film.
Sick.
Congrats. Check you out.
I know my silent films. That's what my mom wants me to be all the time, so. Rough life. 1-0 for Fury. They pick up the pistol. They hold on the onslaught of the retake from Netland. And they'll go into 3 UMPs, 2 AKs. As Netland, I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff with pistols today. But so far, it's looking good for Fury as they'll just take mid-control. Pretty easy at that as well. Going up against some 5.7s, Deagles, and P250s. As trying to push up, Bustum get the opener towards the catwalk, the player in sight. Not gonna work out for Braun as he will fall, leaving it all in Lager. And he's coming through B-Apps, and look at Fury, they know they haven't cleared this yet. I'm pretty sure Bustum is aware that they have to push into B-Apps, yeah. And I'm not sure you want to say this guy's name. Is it Googie? Or is the first G pronounced like a J?
I feel like, because I remember I've cast a Fury before, and I think it was Googie.
Googie,
like you gotta,
so
like,
I'm right.
Put extra emphasis on the G. Like
Googie. Awesome.
I'm loving it.
We're
that
so
works
good.
For me. Loving the casual insert as well. The life of a caster, folks. You know, you just have that family yell at you on a day-to-day basis. They hate the sound. You know, the hype that we bring to you is hype our families. They do not appreciate. Talking of hype, though.
Return.
Berkey with his rifle. He returns a nice little triple. Oh, okay, quadruple as well with the slam dunk of a nade, but it works out.
There you go. So 3-0. The typical, and immediately Netland are going to buy a right into an op. So the op comes out from Felix. There's a molly behind it, while M4 is for the other members of his squad. Chat's telling me Braun is pronounced broken. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I did that like every time. Like everyone keeps saying this to me, and it just goes in one ear and out the other. We'll try, folks.
Then he should just change his name to Braun, Kappa. He should change his name to Broken.
You think about it, BRQN. I feel like it's kind of a simple one to realize. We're just terrible people for not realizing it.
We're just terrible human beings who eat marmalade.
Man, it's all about the carrot cake right now. I'll tell you, everyone's staring me right in the face. But talking about staring people in the face, these UMPs are out on the side, looking to force the frag on towards Lager, as he is going to stutter step his way in towards CT before an inevitable death will find its way on towards his shoulders. Felix about to be left headless, as he's going to be faced in from jungle by the rising AK-47s that have full control of this A site. The only thing that can stop it would be some stairs control, but that is just too much to ask for, as they are all going to fall apart, at least Moyes and Broken, the last 2 pillars for the CT side, to a draw over on towards this B site. Ironically, going to go play around those pillars, as they perhaps even jump up in towards apps to try and escape the grasp of this Fury lineup, who are desperately looking to hunt them down, as their gain of chasing these weapons is actually pretty big.
Yeah, it would mean that like can't really justify a force around it. if they don't have anything to force around, they might just have to go all in. I mean, you'll be down 4-0. You're not getting anything going your way. The UMP gets a free upgrade to an M4. They get the op out on Stole. I mean, they came out like bandits in that round, Fury. So they should be able to save these 2 rifles. Googie, well, he's going to try to hunt them down. But it looks like Broken, a.k.a. Diego. That's in his name, too. It's pretty neat. We'll be able to save this rifles with Moise. So it's going to be 4-0, but Netland do have 2 M4s. And I mean, when you're in as weird as this sounds, Flakes, and don't judge me too hard for it, when my team only saves 1 rifle, I don't force a full save. When you get 2, no, this is what I do personally in Pugs with, I coach/own a team. So when my team gets 2 rifles, I always say, put the rifles together on a site, force buy the other 3, and put them in the other site, and concede mid on Mirage.
I feel like
other
that's
maps
one way
is
of doing
different.
it, because you just kind of stack up your weaponry, and when you got rifles, it's like an AWP, right? So you're not looking for too much this pick-based play. So just kind of, you're basically banking on your IGL having the predictive ability to make the right place on where to put the rifles. On Mirage as well, putting them over on towards that A site is generally a good bet, because you have a few more longer range battles that you're going to be caught up in. So I think the idea is certainly good. I think there are plenty different ways you can play it out, though. So I'm not actually going to judge you, in all fairness. I think you've made a good shout there, but the thing about Mirage is, all in all, it's so hard to stop a T side from just plundering out onto the site and getting that plant. But especially when you're looking at this B site, right? Because all you've got to do is throw 2 or 3 smart smokes and some flashes, you're out on the site. Or even just flashes at this point. It's kind of what we saw in this round, was just a plenty of flashes. And you can take those duels because you know that they're going to be on that weak firepower. So you know you're going to be able to isolate someone on the site and get the trades.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, when you only do a flash take in towards B, it gives you tons of room when your teammates have a ton of utility afterwards. I mean, I'm losing my mind of how Felix didn't get. Anyway, Felix should have escaped. He's not sly enough. He'll get shut down. And I mean, you can look how much utility Fury had once they got into there, right? Like Stole, Berkey, Googie. They all had pretty much full utility when they were on the site for the post plants. So they were looking really good when it came down to their utility. So it's going to be 5-0 now, Netland. They're going to go into the double op. Felix has had one before, but this is the first time we're going to see it out on this. And so double op for Netland. See if they're going to contest mid a little more heavily. We can see there is pressure given towards mid early from Fury, from an unpressed player and pushing up mid. In response to this, Netland have put a player into ladder room, player catwalk, and player connector. But it looks like they're just going to passively fall back.
Conscious decision being made to put Buster as well in towards this spot right now. Should have spotted out both of those players, but instead sees an arm, but neglects to take the shot. Lagger now has to play perfectly in CT. This should be an easy pick for him to find. He's going to give himself up. Oh, no, Boogie tries to reforce the trade. Spots on another player over the back of that Felix, giving himself up in return. That does mean one most important factor. A minute on the clock, and this T side cannot get the bomb down just yet. They're focused on getting these frags more than anything else. And that is going to be a problem. Grab that bomb and plant it, boys, as they get themselves another headshot on towards Broken. Savii with the AWP shot on towards Bondas, making it better. Oh, boys, goes for the triple kill, and he finds it, boys. How on earth do you get away with that one? Absolute tear for him there. Chalks it up to a quadra kill in the round. Gains an AWP for his troubles. Netland are going to be laughing as they run away with that round.
I was confused for a little bit there, as Netland were taking these peeks that they necessarily didn't have to, right? The bomb wasn't planted. Yes, you know you've lost the A site, but you don't have to keep peeking to confirm, oh, is the A site still lost? A site still lost, right? You can just sit and wait for the bomb plant. Either A, they plant it, B, they wait you out until they have little to no time left to work with, or they've rotated. But all those situations really plan out into your advantage, because you can rotate faster than the T side can to another site, but it actually ends up working out for Netland in the end. The huge quad kill from Moise. As Fury, though, into round 7. They're up 5-1, and they already have the opening pick, thanks to Stole. As it looks like Fury get the opening pick, and they just pump the brakes. They slow things down. They have a player A apps, 2 players A ramp. Bomb is safe towards bottom mid by TV room. And they're holding a B push. They're holding the A push. They're holding the mid push. Nothing crazy from Fury. Just pretty smart sound CS. You get the opening frag, you just pump the brakes. As Netland will pick the double op back up onto Broken. Laggers on UMP, though, in the meantime.
UMP will try and force a little bit of damage here in there, Berkey. With the AK, they'll take advantage of that to strengthen the man advantage that Fury have. And let's not kind of brush over this C-side. The problem, the big problem for Netland right now is the reset that is hanging over their heads. Think of their economy, think of the children. Because they're going to have nothing left after Fury run away with all their worth.
No dinner.
That just got dark real quick. You gotta feed them, man. Like, that's wow. 1-6. They do have no money, is what we were getting at there. And yeah. Damn, CSET.
Hey, man. Dark Ecos call for dark measures, as 3 UMPs will get bought up, a CZ and P250. So, I mean, they can't really afford to do anything basic, right? You can't afford to be like, all right, guys, default. And you can see they're already changing it up from what they typically like to do. They'll send one player aggressive up catwalk early to clear top mid, and he's just going to fall right to connector and immediately transition to A. So they'll have the numbers towards A, 3 players. They'll leave 1 catwalk, 1 deep in B to continue to spot. So Moise is kind of in a power position here, where he has to deal with mid and also let his teammates know if they start to work up underpass. It looks like Fury, with 1 flub smoke, they're just going to go, though, to this A execution, knowing they have the superior weapons. And Netland, with the UMPs playing close, they might have a chance to get the armor pen with the UMP and find a couple frags before they get to the site, though.
Bust him. Smart hit. Doesn't want to face up too wide. Just in the center line. As he pushes out from ramp, gets himself another hit onto his Bondus off the back of that. Nice little positioning. A few little quirks here and there. Does allow Felix with the CZ to try and run off the back of that. But you know what? One man who steps in others to get success, well, the harder you rise. Moise starts to really kick that into gear with just another. Fury are beginning to get a little bit more punished here. Ooh, Savvy, nice little shot from him. How does he get away with that with the P250? First, he gets a sick AWP shot, follows up with the P250 as well for the double kill. What am I watching? That is insane from him to be able to back that up with play like that. Honestly, I don't know what to say. Speechless.
Nutty. I mean, the analyst does called Fury, and I'm starting to see why. These dudes are nuts. These dudes are... Their raw aim mixed in with the sound Counter-Strike they're playing just makes for things like that. And I don't know anymore, dude. I can't even count to 3 that quick. Like, he got those kills that quick.
Just
which is more embarrassing for me.
The 180. Like,
yeah, that was sick.
It's crazy, man. 1-7 is the scoreline. And 5-7's ready to try and chew up their opposition, but I know this is some rock hard candy that is showing no signs of life. Fury just not taking any fights at all, just being very smart about this round in itself. Mollying off Broken. Nearly mollying off Broken. As he's actually just going to get to stand there. That would have been an easy pick, and that would have been the start of the play. But unfortunately, he does miss the molly, and that doesn't mean that that B site goes as well as planned, but even then, they'll still walk out on towards A. And that CT fight, I do not want to be like it at all here. That's such a hard fight for him to win, or even try and fight.
Yeah, he's so alone, he can't get the face. Broken tries to rotate, gets caught while doing so. Yugi gets on these players mid, and he's just gonna have a heyday. With no armor, these Netland members just gonna get shredded. Even if they have Peeker's advantage in certain situations, doesn't even matter. These AKs are so ready for these peaks. Felix and Bondus, last two remaining. They both get spotted. Bondus gets 1. Felix couldn't get anything else anymore, and he gets shot in the back. So 8-1, and you have to think, at one point does Netland go, okay, we need to take a pause because this match means a lot. It's a big map in a BO3, and it looks like it's not going to come now. I would have liked to have seen it a little earlier, if not right now. I mean, it's round 10, you're down 8-1. You have rifles out. You just lost a full eco. You have rifles, you have utility, and even lacking some. So even more reason, more incentive to have a talk about how would you like to use it. But it's not going to be the case.
I'm just holding for Savvy at this point and his AWP. He's the man in the spotlight for me. Everyone is looking at him. I just want to see what his entry power going in towards ramp is going to be, right? Because when you put an AWP towards ramp, as a caller, you're making a very conscious decision that you get that pick or your entire play falls apart and you have to recoil up a default with potentially a man disadvantage. And that puts you on a big back foot going into a crucial round such as this, because it does decide where Netlands go with their economy. This is their comeback mechanic they're trying to search for. So can he find the frag or not? Right now, he's playing for the stairs peak, but Netland, they're being smart. They're not overextending. They're not going for any risk. They don't see the reward in that. So instead, it's very passive stuff. They're forcing Fury to be the initiators in each and every engagement. And this is smart from them, because it does mean that AWP setup has, for all intents and purposes, failed at its task. It hasn't got that entry pick. Now, Bondas, if he gets peaked with his back turn, sure, that starts to change things up yet again, but that's a timing-based thing, and that's not something that we can look at right now, as Savvy is going to be the man to watch as he slowly but surely begins to creep on out, but Moise is getting so much information. I think Netland might have themselves around here, but he's going to with the rifle, gets himself a backstab, second as well. Nice spray down comes in from Felix. Tries to line him up, but cannot knock them down. The refill position comes in from Moise, but even he's struggling. That was a bad M for A1S spray.
Cleans it up in the end to find one at least. And he didn't take any damage. Here's Googie jumping across. And that's the issue with playing that tight wall at a lockdown connector, right? It's a good off angle to hold connector. He gets the first two, but then to get out of there, you have to wide swing to fall back. And if there's players crossing the site like they were there, you get shredded. And this is the play from Fury. They plant just on the left side of triple. One player who's weak stays ramp, and the op, Savvy, runs all the way around to worry about the bomb and holder from Catwalk. Nothing they can do. And he'll find them both in the end. Fury are just not only hitting the shots in the entries, even when the numbers are there for Netland, their executions are on point. Their mid calls seem to be very on point when it comes down to, okay, make control, we get a pick, we execute on it. And even just plays like that in clutch situations where you keep the low HP player ramp to apply pressure, and the player with the op rotates to Catwalk. Just, you love to see it.
You know what the real outplay in this game is? You know, the real big play to watch towards? It's our mispronunciations of these names. I've butchered Save, and we butchered Googie. It's just all gone wrong from here.
Oh,
Is this spam going to work? I think it's Save, not Savvy.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's the E or the I. You got to figure it out. The ordering is very important here. Doogie gonna find himself just another door, and I think this round it really isn't one to pick because there's just nothing going on. Like, the C2 side, they've tried to construct something out of it, but there's just nothing to find. You're trying to build something out of nothing. Like, no matter how hard you try, you're not going to turn $1 into $1,000. It just doesn't work. You can dream about it, but nothing changes.
We're pronouncing it wrong because his name's not even on HLTV, so, which leads me to believe his profile. No, that's right.
The real struggle.
Yeah, maybe they swapped. I don't know. You know, you never really know in today's age. You know, chocolate chips, mint chocolate chips. We've gone down a dark rabbit hole. Who likes mint chocolate?
Mate, it's all about pineapple on pizza. I don't know what the problem is, but it's lovely. I'll tell you that.
Get out of here.
Can we get a vote on that real quick? Tell you what, we'll get into this round, but I want the chat to be voting on that. I want to hear pineapple pizza because it reigns supreme, folks. What also does work out for them, though, is the flash going towards connector. Now we're going to see the side take that fight. Berkey demands to try and achieve it. Gets information on how the Suited side are playing their A setup, which should feed back to how short is being played. They know now is going to be a player going aggressive because it's a very passive setup in itself. They should know connector is being faced. Oh, we thought that was a read, but it's all gone wrong because Moise was given free roam. The trade does get found. Like he's going to peek on in, finds one, looking down for a second as well. Has support from short, of course, and that all goes wrong just because we thought they had the read, but clearly they didn't actually have the information they thought they had. And that's where it fell apart for them. They lost an easy pick short that they should have been able to find. Faced in connector without dealing with short, which again was the key problem there. Now Googie and Save, with this AWP, you're left in a very dark spot.
Oh, it is Savvy. Why do I keep saying... Listen, it's the multitude of ease. That's really what does it for me. It's 23 seconds for the bombs. Ooh, gonna try to work out, and there you have it. Savvy. Oh my goodness, I just did it again.
It's happened again.
Dude,
not
listen,
like this.
It's okay. Googie, gonna try to work its way into the A site. He's trying to find a bomb plant spot. He's gonna tap at 10 seconds. Doesn't have time to really fake it again. It has to stick the plant. And he spotted Langer. Gonna take engagement. They have to find the frag. No time for the plant. And Broken knows it. It's just gonna fall back. Heads up play from Broken, not to face. But possibly a misplay coming in from Fear there as well.
They get it way closer than what they should have been able to, though, if you think about it. Like, one thing led to another from that misplay. It should have been a lockout round. They shouldn't have had to hold off their sights, but they allowed the 2 versus 2 to happen, then the 2v1, and it's just got a little too close for comfort. Would have liked to have seen the bomb go down, of course. I think that's something to be said, but either way, it's still 10-2. It's about Fury now waking up to the fact they're starting to make some mistakes, and those mistakes need to be corrected, or they do give Netland the chance to be able to get more and more value out of this half. Bear in mind, at 10-2, I've seen teams in the Adria Masters be 11 rounds down, you know, literal 11-0 matchups, or I think it's like Rising style stuff as well, but I've seen teams in general from these regions that like, come bring it back from those dastardly scorelines and make it something that you go, okay, hold on. If you weren't watching the game, you would think that was an equal half. So the door is open for Netland here. They just have to keep playing the way they're playing, keep improving, and Fury, they just have to keep making mistakes, right? If you're looking at it from the Greek side of things. But I think Fury should realize that, okay, we're playing a bit too confident now. Let's just ground ourselves for a second, because this looks like a match they should easily be able to close out.
For sure. I mean, buys like this do not help Netland either, though. They have, what, 2 FAMASs, some rifles. They're down to 1 flash in a minute at 47 seconds.
You look at Fury,
Not a lot
like,
for them
you've got
to
all
work
this utility. If you just execute out on towards the C2 side, like, they've got nothing to hold you off. So they have to go for aggressive plays, which is why Bondas has walked up through ramp, right? But I feel like Fury kind of play into that. They just don't seem to have the reads behind the aim. We noticed that with the short play in the round before, and we're seeing that kind of now in terms of just realizing that the C2 side have no economy, so an execute is kind of fitting here, but instead you're just going for a very default play where you're trying to force the frags, and again, the aim is not really what you want here. You're giving it to these rifles, like 4% Palace. They're just going to do so much.
Look at this, though. Perky just going off of that AK. He's got to cover the bomb planter. Hop shot's gonna come in. Broken, what can he do? They're heavily tagged. Now it's a 1v1. Broken in CT instead. Savvy's just gonna take the peek and eliminate him. Fury will pick up an 11th round. 11-2 now. Netland, I mean, it's another situation where they have to go. It's round 14. You're down 11-2. You really have to make a decision. Do we go all in? Do we save for 15? I think you're being so far down, you have to buy, and that's exactly what they're feeling too. So they'll get a UMP, Deagles, CZ. They know how dire the situation is, and at least they recognize it.
Gonna be working out towards mid here as a core 4, with the 5th, of course, sitting in towards Apps. See, we've seen some pretty gnarly Deagle plays today. Is it happening again? Oh, no. Savvy says no. Denies it with the AWP, a quick shot from the hip. Will take him down, and that starts to lead up to a pretty simple B take, right? Like, I look at this and just go, come on, you just gotta be able to find that frag in the B site as yours. Googie has got your flank covered. He is the perfect iteration of a teammate right now. A simple round for Fury, and one that you almost certainly will find.
Cleaned up, just like my pizza dinner last night. Did I eat way too much? But there's nothing to put away. And I was content feeling for at least 2 hours. So 12-2, final round. It's going to be another kind of a buy that you don't feel too confident in if you're an Netland fan. A FAMAS, pistols, a Mag 7. Nothing to really say, hey, you know what, there is a chance in this round. There's a possibility, but that's about it. It's very far-fetched. Netland have been getting caught out. Fury have been doing a great job of getting mid-control when they want it. Their executions have been point. The trades game has been going to their favor non-stop. And Netland haven't really had much answer to what Fury are bringing to the table.
And that's what CZ trying to see if he can at least supply something. Just don't seem to be doing that much to slide by towards the ramp though. That does seem something. And actually CZ Hector chimes on in with Felix in with the FAMAS. He's been doing so much with that weapon. But the trades are inevitable, and they are going to be found, leaving us to a 2 versus 2, where we are currently kind of waiting for that smoke to fade. The minute that does, that's when Netland will decide on, do we bite into this round? Do we try and see if we can make it work? Well, sure, we'll have a crack at it, but with no kit, you gotta go fast. That bomb is ticking. They're out on the site, but they haven't cleared out ramp at all, and that's going to be the position that both of these terrorists are playing from. As the Mag 7 straight on that defuse, but it's 10 seconds. It's a whole lot of time as Googie takes the peak, takes down the Mag 7, leaving it all on this trusty FAMAS of Moyes. Get on that defuse, try to get out the peak. Does it? That's all around great, but he's not going to expect the second play to be from Ramp, is he? The defuse being stuck, and Berkey played that one so well. 13-2 half, locked in. Netland. Good luck bringing this one back. Honestly, you've got such a mountain to climb now in this first map.
They really do. It's crazy. That's kind of an understatement. Even the 2 rounds that Netland picked up, it wasn't even on the back of a change-up from them or a read that allowed them to pick up a round. It was mistakes from Fury that they capitalized on, from missing shots to neglecting the time on the clock. I mean, Fury have been looking really crisp. Netland have just kind of fallen flat when it comes to how do they hold on to these sites while these players just bombard them with utility and frags. But at least they get a chance on the T side, where Bondas will have a smoke, a flash, and an aid for the team, while Fury will have 1 kit out on Savvy. He has a smoke behind it. Netland, it looks like they're just going to be content to hold for now. 1 player holding Palace, 2 players in spawn, slowly working towards a ramp. So we're going to see a connector split, where the number 3 and 1 on your map well, they were going to run out mid. Just as I say that, they get flanked. So plan kind of spoiled and comment kind of spoiled. But they were going to go for a connector split onto A with the solo smoke they had. And keep in mind, that's the smoke from Bondis thrown already. So this round's kind of thrown to the wind from Netland. They're going to still go for it, but Fury have kind of just completely spoiled that plan.
Broken. Gotta be ever so careful here. Just to wait for the utility to be thrown out. Berkey tagged on down. Nice little shot to be found by Googie. Well, the trades are coming in so thick and fast as Felix going to force the fight in jungle. So let's do a little bit more as well. Blocks at range. What am I witnessing? Lager unable to find it, but gets the most important shot of the round. It's the final headshot required. Netland, the pistol in the bank for them to play with 13-3. A long way to go. But hey, you got to start somewhere.
I'm very surprised they brought that back. It was some nice shots that really just solidified that for themselves. Fury played that really well, considering they got the flank, they had the info, they knew exactly what Netland were up to. They just couldn't really take advantage of the knowledge they had in their ranks. As they're going to buy up here, and this is something that I've seen becoming more prevalent, more used. More so in the North America region, I've been seeing it happening over the oceans. But you just buy upgraded pistols, you don't invest in armor. And that just allows you to get 2 rounds of upgraded pistols without armor. And it gives you a little more chance in the second round instead of just having USPs. Because you normally have to full save to get a full buy on the third round, so, or the 4th round. So, yep, just a little bit of knowledge.
A few shots here and there. It's going to be Fury just basically backing away here, trying to save what they can. You have to imagine it from their point of view of, you know what, if we've got these upgraded pistols, we can use them in that next round, so kind of losing them for no real reason, what's the point in it all? Now, I can get behind that, but I am excited to what Netland can do here. I think that they've been able to have a few close rounds here and there, and that's a given, but what actually leads up on the scoreline is what matters at the end of the day. If it's 13-3, it's 13-3. So that's kind of what I look towards right now. It's much more, less about the context and more about just what the score actually is. So I'm hoping Netland can kind of get behind that almost and start to really just build up some rounds more than anything else. Because they've got 4. It's not impossible, it's just going to be very hard for them. And that's the message we spread. But rounds are coming pretty easy to them right now, as Fury, they don't have too much to be able to contest with at all. Just some deagles, the light pistols they saved, etc. They do have the UMP, of course, on Googie. But all of this really isn't an equal match to what Netland can fight here.
And that's another cool note, right? They don't buy into armor after losing pistol. So when Googie picks up this UMP, he can justify buying armor on the second round after losing pistol. So just the little things that I notice that Fury are doing really well, that I appreciate. Although it doesn't really matter if they're just going to get slaughtered, the pistol players across the map, especially some long-range shots from Bondis, as Googie going to probably try to stay alive. They'll get a full buy in the next round, but even a UMP is valuable. It has some value to it, plus the armor. And if he doesn't take a scratch of damage, if he stays on 100 armor, he'll get the cheap upgrade to the head armor. So, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's a win-win, right? Money's money. It's all the more important. Counter-Strike now. Something that more people are clocking onto as the game continually develops and evolves. I mean, one of the beauties of Counter-Strike is the meta is always changing. I was having a fun conversation with a friend of mine the other day just on Cobblestone alone about how the Cobblestone takes and execution have changed so much over the years since the map has been in play, even though not much of the map has actually changed in itself, right? You know, we've only seen small subtle changes, but just in the way that you play a map, the smokes that you use, the new smokes that are found, the new flashes, everything all boils down into just a play on the site. Counter-Strike is an always evolutionizing game, and I think that kind of boils down nicely to Mirage as well, and it's something that, you know, it's just a beautiful thing to watch in these games. Seeing what teams can do differently, seeing what they try. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's all about trying. Seeing if it's worthwhile. You know, you watch it back and go, okay, was this a smart play? Where's the weakness in this? Where's the crack that my opposition played into? As for now, it is going to be a few nades here and there, but a perfect buy round for both of these sides. An AWP into the arms of Survey. What can he do?
What can he do is a good question. Fury, I mean, they put up such a good first half. Netland have so much work to do. They can't really afford to drop around, but if they do, they have to fire back right away. And they're playing a very push back kind of round to start this one off. Holding for a push A ramp, holding for a pounce push, all from T spawn. And now going to try to fight for to late mid control, but look at this from Fury. They have 2 players pushed up. Murphy's going to be the first around the corner. He'll shoot his teammate, and actually, deal enough damage to assist on the frag. Lager will find the 2. So Fury, they have the perfect counter strat and the perfect setup to counter this late mid-round aggression from Netland. It just falls apart at the seams, where the player in window was unable to find a trade frag. He had some issues doing whatever he had to do in that situation. And the 2 players who pushed up mid, I mean, a little team damage, a little miscommunication on the peaks, and that is just how it falls apart. Now Bustum has to find this frag cleanly, and it's not going to be the case. Broken just going to break his skull in 2. So the op's going to rotate. He's going to be able to find 1 player, but still man advantage for Netland in the B site. It's an A alert. Not a mind. Googie's aware of it, though.
And he peeks into it, takes him down with a nice criminal-style headshot. Will lead us back to a 2 versus 2, a fateful spot for the Netland side as they play for everything in this first map. Molotov going to be a nice little block, slowing Fury down even more. Survey got to make this push happen. And AWP, not the greatest weapon here to try and push out of market. Perhaps a little bit of a shop around will be well and good as he does try to have a gander. He can't find anything. People coming from Broken. That's going to find us not only 1 headshot, but potential 2nd. Survey will try and force a 1 versus 1, but something tells me Broken has got this one down pat. He can be taken, but the pistol, the drive-by from Savvy, while moving, gets himself the jumping shot, runs for the kit. But unfortunately, time is of the essence, and time is something he does not quite have. He's going to run away from that one. And Netland, they're going to take it.
He had enough time. I'm pretty sure he had enough time to get that defuse. I'm willing to be wrong, but when he picked up the kit and was running away, I think there's about 7 seconds left. And from where he was, 1 B-hop or even just running straight, I think you get there dead on time for the defuse. Because it exploded. It was exploded when he was close. He could have ran to top mid and then defused. Like, he could have ran to top mid, and that's when the bomb exploded. So I think he did have enough time for the defuse, unless I'm completely wrong, but I swear he did.
It's one of those situations where you're like, there's a chance. Very thin chance, but it could have came down to the he made the decision. He's got to stand by that now. Because he's given Netland the ability to continually combo up these rounds together. They just can't find that breaker. As now it is going to be pistols in play. Fury he's going to have to try and force a few gunfights here and there. But the deals, you can spam all you want. You can tap that left click to your heart's content, but that doesn't mean you're going to land a Nico-style headshot. Instead, you're just going to die like a fool. As Googie at 5-7 is the last man left. Probably about to walk into the crosshair of Bondas, who wants to take a bit more to add to his stats.
Well, Netland are making it happen. From a defuse decision to getting the entries to putting Fury on ecos. Fury's going to get a buy here that includes the op, includes the rifles, and they're going to go right into the double op. Berkey's going to buy that up. He'll have no utility, but he will have the op to deal with some damage and pressure across the map. He's number 7 on your map. He's going to be playing towards CT. He has support from Googie with that rifle. Netland, they're not neglecting. They just don't want to go for the op pressure just yet. These AKs have been working for them on the T side, and it's been a while since something's been working. At least it's starting on this half. So Netland don't want to switch it up. They'll stick with the AKs. They'll stick with a very passive default across the map, holding for pushes at the beginning. And then look for them to group up around the minute mark, 50-second mark, and go for these late takes that they like to do. Although, oh, this man has different plans as he pushes top mid with an op. Something you're not really ready for as a T side in that situation.
Like a positioned acutely in underpass. Has to be very careful here as he's going to be watching the fork. But Speed. Speed wins that fight. And Speed is what he will use to get himself that headshot on towards Stoll. That gives a little bit of an advantage over on towards this T side, of course, in this 4-for-4. But losing his position is going to be something that should be able to get that. It was very, very close there as he took the fight down to the wire, but he does come out on top still as the Molotov towards short will burn away. Boys, not really anything you can gain from that, though. Survey, sure, he'll check behind him, now aware that there is a player kind of lurking in the shadows of mid, but no, is there value in dividing the attention of this B site right now? I don't think they look at it for too long, and I think all that happens is Moyes pretty much dies here, and then Berkey just goes to the quick rotate. You can still expect Survey to swap around on towards B to hold that cross. Yeah, I don't know if it was all that worth it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of starting to fall apart now, Lager. That's the first one. We're going to transition to the second, so Bustum's going to pick up the op. 14-7. Pause is going to come on through as things start to really just settle down now. Fury, that's the first round they picked up this half. That was 5 rounds strung together by Netland to, get their foot at least in the door. But Fury did such a good job in the first half. If Netland can't take a moment to relax, they can't take a moment to fall off or lose concentration even for a second, because you do so, Fury's going to be on 15. Next thing you know, you're playing for OT, which isn't ideal, but it'll keep you in the game. But then you have to get into a weird situation where your economy is going to start to, like, dip and fall apart. So,
well, 2 rounds for Fury to find. They won that 2-0. 2 rounds it's not that big of an ask, is it, really? Think about it. But Netland on 7, they've shown that they can make it happen. Oh, this aggression from Zave, I love this. So off the cuff, so random. And a nice little tag will come in, broken 15 HP. They had a clear idea that they were going to be pushed there. Fortunately, neither could connect the frag, but good damage to be done by either side. Bondas prompted to go very quick and aggressive straight down through mid, trying to fight on towards short. Hits the headshot on towards Stoll. That's a crazy frag to find. It's Netland. They pull through with an advantage. They couldn't find it in Palace, so they find it on short. Now all they got to do is set up for this A push, throw some sensible flashes. These entries are pretty likely.
They're really doable, but Fury, a man down, have numbers here, but he'll just get taken down. He needs some help. Gugi's in a rough spot where he has to worry about the push in front of him and the push from Palace, but he's able to find 2 individual players, and the Palace player peaks late. So this is doable for Berkey, who's currently playing towards Catwalk. Where's this bomb going to get planted? So he is just going to take the safe plant in towards default. Spawned us with the lurking window. Fury, they had numbers. Although they got picked early, they did just kind of just fall apart with positioning. Now they have to take an eco. Netland, they're going to be back up to 9 before Fury even get a chance, because they're down to 1,400. The next round is going to be 1,900. I can see them possibly justifying a buy next round. But even if they do so, it's not going to be the strongest buy you've ever seen. So Netland, they're starting to figure out how to open this door.
Only time will tell if they can really make it work, though. Each and every round has importance to it. These pistols again have to go aggressive in mid. Same sort of narrative each and every round. Same words describe the situation. No one really does much, does it? There's longer range fights with these AKs. I don't want to be a P250 tapping away that sort of range. It's AK-47's dream to be able to take those engagements. Netland, happy as ever. They get themselves the bomb plant. The pushes are going to come in, but even... You can see how serious Netland are taking this, right? They're re-smoking against P250s. Which really is just a message to the fact that Netland are refusing to allow any small mistakes to be a window back into the game. Even with them knowing pretty comfortably that Fury are going to be saving a rifle and pistols here. Going to see if they can find another rifle. See if they can force another pick. Even with that said, they're still re-smoking all their sights. They're still flashing each other in. Flashing each other out. I like that. I think that's a lot of respect. Yeah, I think that's a lot of respect for Netland to be showing Fury. And I think, if it has to be said, that's very worth it. Really huge props. I can't understate that enough.
Yeah, and rarely do you see this much respect given to a team. You kind of have to respect the team after what happens in the first half. Netland all exit together as well towards CT. Towards CT to make sure no one drops a weapon, to make sure everyone's going to stay alive who should be. Fury, so it is just going to be a save. They're not going to force around this rifle, so they get the 1 AK, no utility. 1 player and 1 AK can still deal significant damage. You find the first shot required, and after that, it can just start to unfold. Netland, again, back to this default. Very similar to the others. They have these other 2 setups where they'll keep a player Palace, and then keep a player ramp stack B. This is the mid-centric one where they have 2 towards mid. They also like the one where they just all sit T-spawn/TV side and just wait it out. So, nothing crazy with Netland. They're feeling comfortable in their default. They're not feeling too pressured. Although Bustum somehow gets a running dink onto Broken. He's down to 20. And that's almost 100 HP nade. That's actually a 91 damage nade. As Bustum will fall. Fury still have the back pocket AK, but Netland are not taking any chances.
Still, I love that as well. And again, I just want to highlight that. They're not taking any risks at all. Close angles to be held as well from this CT side. But Netland, they've played the right card. They've gone mid. They're going to just try and abuse connector if they can. It's fights that they are comfortable to take. Savvy just going to try and make the best out of what he's got here, but Again, trying to come from the flank from behind. All he does grab his information, which is pretty good if they can try and contest connect. But it's unlikely considering the barrage they're about to hit from ramp. Broken. Didn't leave his push. Now he's going to force him personally to try and really secure that trade. There's plenty of frags. Oh, a nice Molotov in towards Palace as well. Perfect read in what's being done. Sure, the frag happens, but then he goes away behind the flames, admitting defeat almost. Is Bondas straight on that site. Get himself a bomb plant. Savvy, crack at this. The AKs, they win that fight. Another one to be bowed out of. Another round for Netland. This is one hell of a comeback.
Have we agreed that it's Savvy?
I don't know, man. Is it Savvy?
I mean, it's easier to say.
Savvy?
Saver.
I feel like Savvy is the way to go with this one.
Savvy. It's just simple, you know?
Yeah.
Although
I got a really nice tweet about it. From,
Did you?
From one of the guys, and they were like Savvy as well, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it, but it's a tough one to pronounce right at the end of the day, you know?
It's one of the ones that can go either way, so.
Yeah.
14-10. Yeah, I think we nailed it. I think no matter what we say, I think we nail it. Op out in the meantime, and you saw the jump made early from him to get up towards catwalk to try to take the early pick. Look through the crack of the smoke, because you're not ready for a catwalk player to be there as quickly. Savvy did his best to do so while bust him. Going to be holding for any kind of BAPS pressure. And again, Netland, no chances. Exact same default. 2 holding mid, 1 beat. It's the exact same thing we'll see probably round in and round out unless they feel like switching something up and going for a quick execution. But they feel content waiting down the time. And you notice how low it got in the previous round. For only having pistols, they planted the bomb when there's 7 seconds left. So Netland are kind of doing this weird Navi-esque kind of mix-up in their game where they just feel comfortable waiting time down, and that might be ultimately what comes and bites them in the butt right now. But currently it's working for them until Fury answers with some kind of aggression play.
I feel like I want to rephrase that, though, from Intel to if. Because right now, I'm not seeing any signs of adaptation come in from Fury. That's something that has to be said. I don't really feel like they've changed much. At least anything they've done that they have changed has really worked. A few trades here and there, but it's the late progression that comes in from Netland that is constantly counteracting any of the fights that get taken. And it's always just trades for Netland. They consistently solidify and anchor them down on these sites when they do go for that push. This is big for Netland. I don't know if Fury can come back from this. They're running out of rounds to try things with. They're about to pretty much move up from a 4-round difference to 3 now, as Netland are going to get their 11th. You've got to start getting real concerned.
And I mean, if you look at how the half broke down, it was what, 13-2? Right? It was 13-2 and now 14-10. So, if that doesn't show you how prepared Netland are on their T side and how well their default's working in their favor, I mean, I think I just explained it enough for you to be like, okay, Netland's default is actually scary good, and Fury's CT side is just non-responsive.
It's just the read they have on the game as well, in terms of when they did that A push example, and the minute they pushed out through ramp with the rest of their players pushing through mid, the first thing they did was have their second player throw a Molotov in towards Palace. Most teams would make the simple mistake of not doing that, but throwing that in forced the refrag to come in again, and it really banks to the playstyle that Netland are employing. If you're not sitting at home right now and giving these teams respect, you don't know what you're missing out on. You've got to prove yourself, is a statement that gets said all too much. And right now, Netland are proving they're here. Savvy with the first AWP pick, gets the second as well. Can't quite connect the third, though, as he eventually will be traded out by Felix, who looks for one of his own. Custom going to push up through BAPS. Berkey going to find another with the Tech 9. That trade's starting to be forced in by the Netland side, though, however, as they will bring it back 2 for 3. Pistols, very, very low weaponry for Fury's side, as they do have control now of this B site. It'll be held, but the push is going to come in from Berkey. And that's going to be one too many, I feel. So that CZ wants to get close, sure. But Broken should be able to find that frag, but the CZ and its headshot potential, too much for him to handle, it seems.
CZs. I mean, we talk about how well Netland's playing, and then these pistols come out throwing fists. It's been a while since we've seen an eco go through. And it's all on Felix 1v3. I mean, he has time in comparison to what Netland normally execute on. 40 seconds to get there, get back to the bomb. But there's an op on Stole now going to be posted on this. Googie with a 5-7 is going to be playing this doorway. It's going to be so hard for Felix, no matter how sly he may be, to get out of this door and find this frag. He gets spotted. The op shots miss, so it's doable. He was given a window of a chance. If he could have found that frag quick, instead Fury will get it done with the eco. They're going to be up 15 to 11. Netland, I mean, they have money, so the buy's going to be comfortable. But just when it was looking comfortable for Netland, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the half, they don't have room to mess up. They don't have room to take their foot off the pedal. They don't have room to give Fury an inch. And you give them an inch, you give them match point. So that's exactly where Fury are right now.
It's certainly a big point to make, and one that Netland have to try and fix. Winning, I think it's 9 rounds out of 11 played in this second half. But Fury, they won the most important round of them all. That 26th round leads Fury, as you say, on towards map point. The push comes in from ramp. Felix, hungry to find that trade, gets himself the headshot on towards Googie. And hey, that's the right foot forward. But you got to take one step at a time in this round. You can't be overzealous. You've got to think this one through. Because you still got 1 minute 10 to play with. We know how you like to play Netland. Don't try and change it up to something you're not used to. You're something you're not comfortable with, just to try and counteract the Fury lineup. I think right now, if you're Netland, you've got to stick with what you know. Because Fury, they didn't really find a true counter. They just one round where they were finally able to get the fix they needed.
And this is a prime example where they try to switch it up. Googie's trying to get aggressive A-ramp, falls without a single point of damage dealt to Netland. Perky feels like he has to push towards A-ramp, which he kind of does. The B player can take responsibility for that and try to find info/frag elsewhere. The flash misses, he dies A-ramp. Bustum will deal with the B pressure, so at least it's back to 3v3. Broken, opening up the site. Stolen's down. Savvy is still alive towards CT with the yacht. That smoke's going to make this job nearly impossible. So just miss Moise. The bomb's going to go down. Savvy's in a rough spot. Spots him, lands it, hits the shot. Now it's a 2v2. Broken's Molly will keep him at bay. And a little klutzy footwork towards CT, but they will eventually boost up. Wait for the Molly to dissipate. But if they don't find a frag soon, this is going to be hard to get back in here.
Need to be taken. Forced over by Lagger, though, as he manages to turn the fight to his side. Leaving Savvy a fight for survival here, but it doesn't happen. Broken will take him down. Netland, they keep it going. They're fighting match point after match point. But I still hold this as a potential round for Netland here. All they've got to do is just keep doing what we've seen them do. A pause to be called by Fury. They're going to try and, literally in this 2 minutes now, crack out a counter. That's literally all they've got to do to win this, right? That's what it comes down to. For me, that match point, it's been match point this entire half for them. The minute we saw this Netland train arrive is when Fury halted their play. And again, I don't want to overvalue the one round they found. I still give this to Netland. Sure, it's 15-12, but you have to think to yourself on paper right now, have we seen a real counter to anything the Greeks have done?
Yeah, Fury just need to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it momentarily, but I want to let everyone in chat know on lovely Twitch that we are doing a massive giveaway. Since you're here, since you're enjoying it, you get the inside scoop about what's going on. There'll be a link in chat to the giveaway. Bunch of awesome Razor goodies to improve your gaming experience. Shout out to Razor and the DX Racing shared to sit your butt in and frag out in Counter-Strike. So there you go. Get into it. It's free. Why not? Do it up. Fury, in the meantime, something that's not free is a force buy, which includes an M4, 1 SMG. So Fury, 15-12, 15-13 if this doesn't go their way, but they feel confident enough to go for this force. And that's one Molly already gone towards B. They're out of Mollies. They have one smoke remaining. Buffy gets caught pushing. It is the worst possible outcome for Fury to start this round off.
Just question mark. Now Stoll is going to hold Mangle when he's been spotted by Felix. Didn't feel like he fired even a single shot there, and if he did, it was paper mache, as they are just getting taken down. A 3-for-3 to be forged. Fury somehow going to try and crack out this round, but Savvy about to get annihilated from Apps. He pushes right into the crosshair. Broken. Another angle to be held. Does T-side have so much utility to be able to hold off these pushes? As another player should be spotted there. Broken, realizing that Fury have a player market, and they're just going to give up. They are going to back away. Netland, their 13th has now been found. Scrabbling away, finding everything they can out of this game, really, to be honest. And they come up with this. 2 rounds is the difference. 1 match point for Fury. So much pressure on these individuals' shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, it really goes to show that Netland's CT side wasn't really anything to write home about. They pick up 2 rounds, one of which is a timeout. So they timed out the T side, and the T side is still to main advantage of that situation. But the T side has been impressive. The defaults with everyone contributing. I mean, everyone is in double digits. 13's the lowest, 20's the highest, so they're all in a nice tight pack of like frag distribution. There's no one's really stepping up to the plate. I mean, you could say Googie's having a hell of a game for Fury, 27 frags to 14 deaths. But everyone from Netland's putting up, everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. The support players are clearly flashing to set up their players. The smokes are on point. The default is deadly. And it's just been very flat-footed from Fury. As now they have 2 rifles saved here. They're going to get a buy in the next round. They'll get $2,400. But Fury have yet to really adapt like a chameleon. I hope that reference is good. Please tell me that reference was good.
I think you got the point on there. Yeah, I think it's there. I think it's a fair shout. Problem with adapting right now is Fury, they are throwing everything they've got at the wall, including their money. That's a big one to really... We've not almost highlighted it as much as we should have, perhaps, because you gotta bear in mind, there's a lot of money being spent by Fury. Sure, it's in the basic act of equalizing their economy. They all want to be around 2k, which is why we're seeing a little bit to be spent. Bustum, of course, gonna keep a little bit more in play to try and secure an AWP. So I like what Fury have done here for the most part, but it still means they're playing around that with a very mixed bag of weaponry. And this is something you always have to be careful about. 2 taps from a USP, trying to see if they can find themselves a fight that favors them, but it's not going to happen. Bustum somehow staying alive for longer than you'd expect. Eventually, Moyes will punish him, though. And this is the B-site completely taken.
Yeah, Berkey and Googie should immediately just save. It's only going to make your buy just that much stronger when it comes into the next round. It's either you win in the next round or we go to OT. So I mean, it's a worthwhile hold. Not only that, you'll get full utility. You can even drop a teammate if need be. You'll get a strong, confident buy going to the last round. But we still haven't seen anything from Fury that says they're learning to what Netland are up to. We haven't really been given a show as in terms of Fury's learning. They're adapting to what Netland are providing. They know their default. They've poked and prodded. They've done their homework. They push certain parts of the map for info. I mean, I think we've seen one Palace peak once with an op. We haven't really seen a push. We've seen A-ramp once. And they probably won't do it again because they got slaughtered. So, I mean, at least Bustum, you're right, saves for the op and is able to drop it over to Savvy. So this is their final shot. Their one chance and one opportunity. Do not lose your chance to go to overtime, Netland.
This is it. All or nothing for Netland right now. The game that would potentially be more devastating than it would be a success for Fury at this point, as the hearts of Netland rest on just 5 frags apiece. Building up into this, they decide to expend a little utility on that CT side, the standard pre-smokes, the usual stuff, you know, make sure you cover off any B aggression, make sure you have a presence over towards ramp, actually opting to go very aggressive, playing the dynamic duo of Googie and Berkey together as one set of player. The bomb right now left in T-spawn as Netland opting for the same old standard defaults. They spread out, they run the clock right down to the last fateful few seconds. But they always manage to claw out a pick from nowhere. That has been their strength. But a strength that may swiftly disappear as another re-smoker coming towards B, testing the utility that Bustum will have. But he has a teammate with him, and that's going to be key because Bustum may now have soured out of utility and he may be playing a glass cannon AK. But his teammate can still support him. 35 seconds left. The smokes come down, execute one towards B, but it's all a ruse. Fury have not fallen for this one. Their aggressive A play is about to be well and truly put under pressure. As it all starts here.
Question is, can it be rewarded, bro? Such a prime position. Googie gets spotted, baiting perfectly for Berkey. They come for the molly. They look at the clock and they panic. 15 seconds. They realize I have to go and it all falls apart for Netland. 10 seconds, you can't even get to sight, although that nade cleans it up. There's no way for him to get into the site unless he finds the frag, and just an abundance of nade kills to end the game. Netland, you had hopes, they had dreams, they almost bring it back, but Fury, hold on, as the analysts are going to break down what just occurred and what Netland did right. See you soon after the break.